We'll continue where we left last time. In a gallop of vicissitudes, changes in life, good things happening, bad things happening, constantly facing all kind of difficulties, all kind of chances, occasions also, you see, constantly. Gallop. So these vicissitudes come in the speed of a horse, galloping, full of force, full of strength also. Gallop, thunderhood, with the lightning speed. Thunderhood, lightning speed, you see, hood. She swept through the raceway of circumstance. Life. She swept through the raceway of circumstance. So, what is all this vicissitude, galloping, etc.? Where? In circumstance. In the world of chance. In the world where you don't have something kind of programmed or designed. It may happen, it may not happen. Circumstance, chance, situations, you see. Or swaying, she tossed between her heights and deeps. Well, these are the vicissitudes, going up or climbing down, plunging down into the depths, you see. These are the extreme ends to which she can reach, you see. Well, when she is now on the race field, the racehorse is galloping. When she is tossed between heights and deeps, she sways. Swaying. Yeah, up and down in that way. Swaying, she is tossed between her heights and deeps, uplifted or broken on time's incessant wheel. Time's incessant wheel. Now, time's wheel does not stop. It continuously moves on. Kala Chakra. Chakra, that is the wheel. Chakra is the wheel. Kala Chakra. Kala is time. Kala Chakra. How things, maybe good times come, bad times come, that wheel keeps on going on moving. One emperor comes, the other emperor goes away, like that, you see. Constantly, it has been happening in the history of the world, you see, everywhere, you see. Uplifted or broken on time incessant wheel. Well, that is the very character of life we experience. In fact, that is what we have been experiencing throughout the ages, throughout the history. You see. Ups and downs are constantly there, you see. Amid a tedious crawl of drab desires, she rides a worm mid worms in nature's mud. She, life. See, the vicissitude, the changes, the extremes of her existence. Depths, he says, heights also, he says. In the depths, what happened? She is now riding, moving, squirreling in the mud. Ride a worm mid worms in nature's mud. Now, life is a worm here. Mid worms, what are the other worms? Huh? What are what are the other ones? You see, all those things which have sprung up from the inconscient creation, they are worms. All those things which have sprung up, come up from the inconscious. In the process of evolution, jumped up, come up, you see. So, she is, of course, has been identified as a worm. But who are the other worms, you see? Even mind is a kind of a worm. The vital is, of course, a worm. The physical, suffering, ailing, disease, ineffective, is also a worm in a way. All this, they are all worms actually, small worms. See. A worm mid worms in nature's mud. You see. Now, nature is not mud, but nature has created mud. In nature's mud. Nature is not. Nature's mud. Nature is away from all these muddy things, you see that way. Then, Titan statured. Because he is talking of heights and deeps, no? So, on the heights, now he is going to describe, on the deeps, she is a worm mid worms. on the high, then Titan stature took all earth for food. Such gigantic ambition to possess everything, be under control, as if the whole world she could swallow up, gulp up completely. See. Then Titan stature took all earth for food. Ambition, the seas for rope. That is her height. Between heights and deeps, no. Ambition, the sea is for rope. Now the sea itself is becoming a rope. You see, well, it's a difficult image, but one can understand that kind of a thing. The whole sea you are wearing like a rope, you see. In a way of speaking, you imagine a vertical sea and you are swimming in that thing. So the whole sea has become a rope for you, you see. Titan stature took all earth for food, ambition, the seas for robe, for crown, the stars. And shouting strode from peak to giant peak. So she's standing on one peak, she's shouting, crying, howling, goes to the other peak, jumping from peak to peak like a great monkey, clamoring for words to conquer and to rule. That is the ambition, titanic ambition. So these are the two extremes, worms riding in the mud or clamoring for words to conquer and to rule. That is the ambition of life force. It wants to be the ruler in every respect. Then wantonly, enamored of sorrow's ways, wantonly, as if she is desiring purposefully. What? Enamored of sorrow's ways. She is attracted by sorrow. She is attracted by ugliness. She is attracted by dirt. She is attracted by pain and suffering and ignorance. And in that she is wantonly enamored. That she plunged into the anguish of the depths. Well, life is experiencing the extremes of this formulation, of this creation. She plunged into the anguish of the depths and wallowing, clung to her own misery. She is enjoying misery, this mud, this life in this particular state. You see, yeah, this is all. She is all here for life. Yeah. She plunged into the anguish. He is describing the life which is there between the higher form and the lower form. Nature of life at this point, you see. In fact, this first section of the canto is giving a very painful kind of a picture of life as it is. Very disturbing picture of life as it is. Well, but it's a fact also. If you see the entire evolutionary history of life, that is what has happened to life, you see. She has become a mosquito, she has become a bug, she has become what not, you see. See, they are not to be condemned. They got their own life force. You see, a bug is very definitely more precious than a stone and a rock. So there is something in that also, you see, mosquito, see. You don't find a bug or a mosquito on the moon, for instance. You don't find even a piece of log on the moon, you see. Because life is not there, you see. But life is enjoying here all those things, you see. Then wantonly enamored of sorrow's fame. Sorrow, capital sorrow, the personified sorrow. She is enamored by the person called sorrow and she is drawn towards him. She is enamored by pain, she is enamored by ambition, all those things are there, attracted by the thing. And she plunged into the anguish of the depths. Well, in a certain sense, whether life is there or not in the depth, there is always anguish present. There is the anguish because it is born of inconscience. It is the creation of inconscience. So the anguish is there. So she is kind of plunging into that anguish. She is identifying herself with a state of anguish which is present in the depth. So a glorious life, well, she could have forgotten about that thing and just kept herself away. But she is kind of identifying. She has become a worm. She has become an ambition titan to experience the kind of things which exist in this lower creation, in this depths, you see. She experiences, identifying herself with them and wallowing, clung to her own misery. Yeah, well, it's very often we also experience A man, he is in love with his suffering, with his misfortune, with his pain. He enjoys that kind of a thing because in that way he thinks he can draw the attention of others. He can draw the attention of others. You see. That is a kind of a trick he plays. You see, I am very poor, I am very miserable, I am thirsty, I go without food, hunger is not satisfied. You cannot display that thing to draw the attention of others. So, she plunged into the anguish of the devil and wallowing clung to her own misery. See, in dolorous converse, with squandered self, her beauty, her joy, her happiness, she has kind of thrown away, squandered away all the gifts which are there. A rich man is there, he has squandered all his riches and now he has become a poor person. That is what it is now here. A dolorous converse with her squandered self. So naturally, when she is talking to that kind of a self which was there, it is very dolorous, very sorrowful kind of a conversation. She wrote the account of all that she had lost. Yes, I was beautiful, I was very lovely, I was very charming, I was very rich, I was supple and queenly and all that. She has written out, but I lost all of them while punching into swords. Or sat with grief as with an ancient friend. Sat with grief as with an ancient friend. Well, you find consolation in the company of your friend. You are suffering, you are not happy at all, there is grief. But then when you are in the company of your friend, to some extent your grief is assuaged. Now he says, ancient friend. In words, grief is something more ancient than the presence of life now at this stage here. That grief is actually born, is inherently present in the inconscience itself. Inherently. So she is sitting with that grief now, who is inherently present in the inconscience here. Or sat with grief as with an ancient friend. Ancient means really which has come up from the inconscious itself. You cannot really trace the history backward and find out where it happened. It's so old, you see. A romp of violent raptures soon was spent, or she lingered, tied to an inadequate joy, missing the turns of fate, missing life's goal. She lingered tied to the inadequate joy. Yeah, well, she is enjoying small little joys, bits of joy, pieces of joy, and she is really missing the greater fate which was there for her. Missing the turns of fate. The fate was offering her something very beautiful, something very joyous, which could have been permanent, but she missed that chance. Fate was offering. Yes, it happens in our life also. You are passing through various stages, a chance comes. If you don't see the chance, then you miss the opportunity of becoming happy, of becoming prosperous, of becoming wealthy, whatever you want to call it, you see. You miss that kind of a chance, missing the turns of fate. Now, why do you miss that thing? Because you are not aware of it. You don't have discernment to perceive that something is good coming here with the fate. See, if you have got that kind of a faculty to discern the arrival of something good, you will eventually seize it. But that faculty of discernment is absent here. See, it is only a life force, a life reaction, life motivation, life votive force. It is that alone which is driving you, and therefore you may miss, you may not really gain something from that. Missing life's goal. If you have missed the chance, naturally you might even miss the goal of life. See, the chance comes, and you don't respond at that particular moment of time, you have really missed a great goal in life. It happens in our life also. There are many opportunities, good jobs come suddenly, unexpectedly, but then you fail to attend the interview or whatever it is, and then life's goal is missed completely, you see. Life's goal was missed in spite of being made aware in a very silly manner when the CRISP mission came to India in 1942, May-June 1942. At that time, the CRISP mission brought dominion status to India. And Shivendu publicly accepted the good thing about the CRISP mission in 1942, May 1942. In fact, he sent his emissary all the way to Delhi, telling all the leaders at the time, please accept CRISP mission, CRISP proposal. It is practically independent. Dominion status to India. See, like Canada or South Africa or like Australia in those days, they are practically independent of the role. So, India could have been a part of British Empire in the manner of a dominion status, you see. And Shivandu also said that that is the way by which the Britishers work. They don't give suddenly everything. They will give step by step like that. So he said that dominion status is a very positive step. Please accept that. But our people, they missed life's goal. They missed the nation's destiny completely. They destroyed the destiny of the nation completely. Shivandu's, when his proposal was not accepted, he met everybody. Shivandu's envoy, Durai Swami, Iyer, Shivandu was sent to him personally there in 1942. He met Rajaji, he met all the big leaders, Mahatma Gandhi, everybody. And then what Mahatma Gandhi said was, what does that fellow know sitting in the corner of the world, Pondicherry? That is what he said about Shivandu's proposal. What does he know of politics, sitting far away in the corner of Pondicherry? It was immediately rejected completely, you see. And then when Durai Swami came back to Pondicherry and reported it, the mother said, now calamity will befall on India. Now, Shivandu said later on in one of the conversation that the CRISP mission had come on the wings of divine inspiration. But you don't have that discernment. On the wings of divine inspiration, that CRISP mission had come and you rejected it. Naturally, there will be calamities. The dominion status would have meant practically independent India without partition. Without partition. And then later on you see the partition, and we are still now seeing the consequences of that partitioned India, divided India. Missing life's goal, the spiritual goal of the country has been pushed back by long centuries in between, you see. In 70 years, India should have really gone far ahead. It's missed completely. Missing the turns of fate, missing life's goal.